guys, Goody here, and welcome back to, once again, another glorious battle on Napoleon Total War. So, this battle is going to be fought on Italian grasslands, and this battle is between Prussia and Russia. So, Prussia over here, Plasma 306, he's going to be in command of the Prussians. So you can see it's going to be a 1v1. He also has a YouTube channel, so I'm going to put the links to his channel in the description, so go check him out. Really cool YouTuber. Give him a sub if you enjoy his content. Anyways, let's get right into the video. I believe the rules for this battle were 3 lights max and 1 artillery, and that's exactly what he brought. So starting from the left and going to the right, we have 4 foot guards. Looks like he has 2 cav units, 1 hussar unit on the left, and 1 Freikorps. Those guys are going to be on the left flank, and then in the center he has 3 Prussian Fusiliers. He has a general staff over here, and you can see he kind of did upgrade quite a few of his troops. I guess they were just extra funds, and he dispersed them where he most needed them. And then finally on the right flank he has 5 musketeers, a 7-pound howitzer, which is going to be pretty interesting, and then he has 2 more hussars. So let's fast forward, get right into the battle. There we go. Now his opponent is Rick, and he's going to be in command of Russia, and you can just see from the get-go all he has brought is pure militia, pure Russian militia. So it's going to be a very interesting battle as to seeing how this plays out. But he did upgrade a lot of his troops, so that's going to increase morale, accuracy, and pretty much all these statistics. So we will see. He brought a regular general staff, though. That might be an issue just because his guys might need that extra morale, so going with an elite general might have helped his cause a little bit more. So anyways, we're going to fast forward and wait for this engagement to begin. Once again, Italian grasslands. There are some big hills in the center, so it looks like there's going to be a push for the hills. You see Plasma already flanking, or trying to get a good flank going with his elites, and you see he's kind of pushing his elites to one flank, and I think he's doing that so he can have a pushing and kiting flank. Flank. It's been a long day, guys. I've had quite the day at school and sports, so excuse me if I sound tired, just a little bit tired. Anyways, Russia is going to be pushing up. You can see blobbing his troops trying to get on this hill right now. He's got to make sure to kind of stay a little bit more spread out, just because, you know, the Prussians do have artillery. You see them in the distance trying to unlimber. You see they're unlimbering as we speak. But it seems as though these guys are going to wreak havoc once these guys just do get unlimbered. So there they go, turning their guns to the enemy. Let's see that glorious volley. There we go. The shots have been fired. Let's check where they're going. Looks like over in this vicinity. Any direct hits? No direct hits. So the Russians are locked out there. Let's fast forward a little bit. But you see Russia's kind of flanking on the far right a little bit, trying to overwhelm the Prussian forces. But like I said, they are Prussian foot guards, and you really don't want to engage those guys. Even though you have a lot of chevrons, you still are militia, and you have to understand that. So I'm pretty sure Rick's just going to be chilling, but another volley coming in. Oh, he's going flying. He went so far, he went under the map. Glorious Russia. Looks like another guy went out there, and there he is. Man, these guys are just going flying. Wow, unbelievable. So yeah, that's just one of the reasons why you do not want to cluster up right now. So really good positioning by Rick, other than the artillery, is that, you know, you can see the lights, they're not in range, but they can see the enemy. But as you come closer to the hill, you know, you can't see anything, only the flag. So great positioning there. Another artillery bombardment, another blast, and another loss of life, down to 1 of 5 guys and 1 of 7 in this unit. So Rick sees what's going on, so he's going to be shifting his guys back off the hill. See, one unit's actually going straight for that artillery piece. Let's take a look at the right flank. Okay, so it looks like without even getting one volley off from both sides, the morale for Russia is already in the orange. So that is not a good start whatsoever. Those Prussian foot guards are really devastating the morale of those Russians. And you see they're just having a little staring contest right now. Looks like the Russians are finally going to be pushing up now, seeing that, you know, he can't stay there forever with the artillery blasting him to pieces. So he's going to be trying to push up now. and he's going to be pushing on the flank. Those Prussians get a very nice volley off, downing 4 guys. Decent volley. Let's see this return volley. Not too bad for militiamen. Really doing a good job there. 110 to 113. I have to say, using the flanking maneuver is really helping these guys, because you can see only a couple of these Prussian foot guards are actually firing. So the Russians are definitely losing more guys, but they're definitely outflanking them, which is going to really help in the long run. Over here in the center, it looks like the Prussians are engaging as well. Lights are engaging. Now, one thing Rick has to be careful about, the Russian player, is that he cannot get too close to cavalry, because militia, if you guys don't know, can't form a square, so he's going to have to be cautious of that. But it looks like he's just going to be rushing his troops. They're going to be suffering a lot of losses as they push up. So 107 guys, looks like they're finally forming up. Very thick lines, artillery still blasting them to pieces. Do not know why he's in column formation. One direct hit and those units are gone, so needs to be careful of that. Looks like he's going to be charging into these musketeers. Prussian musketeers have formed square, but these other musketeers are ganging up on this other militia unit. But here goes the Russian push. Morale is getting very, very weak in the center, and he really needs to engage before that morale does break. And you can see he did engage on this far left flank of the light force, so they're going to be engaged. Prussians are pulling back. Probably not the smartest move, but seeing that it is light infantry, he definitely needs to. Another volley from the artillery. Direct hit that time, bringing them down to 90 guys, but somehow this flag bearer is still alive. Looks like the captain is dead, so he's the only guy remaining of a higher positioning. But here comes the cavalry, guys. This is what Rick fears the most. Cavalry, they are very devastating to militia. Like I said before, they just cannot from square. But over here, morale is not looking too good for Prussia. Russian morale charging in, really doing a good job there, breaking that musketeer unit with some suppressing fire from the other line infantry units. But over here in the center, it looks like Russia's getting a little bit too fanned out, you could say. The engagement over here, though, Russia's doing a pretty good job against these foot guards. They are outnumbered. But, I mean, the foot guards, they're not looking as great as they can be. But over here, look at this cavalry going in for the lonely targets. Great job by Plasma, trying to, pick out the lonely units. And by doing that, he's just going to one by one rout these units. You see morale's in the red right now. He's trying to break them, and there they go. So great job there from Plasma, getting that nice charge in. And look over here, though, Russia's continuing his charge now, down to these other musketeers, and you can see they just break on impact with 70 guys. Unbelievable. But the Prussians do have a foothold on this hill up here, so once again Russia's going to have to either assault or fall back. Prussia over here is forced back to go back in this building, seeing that these Russians are just charging them to death. Prussia has kind of fallen back in the center here, kind of reforming his troops. Just because they are light infantry, you really don't want to get too close, but you can see he's kind of shooting the hill right now. You see some routing Russians running away from the battlefield. But over here on the left flank, it looks like Prussia's holding their ground. They actually did manage to break that one militia unit on the far left flank. So this is going to allow this Russian foot guard to push up and help engage with the other troops, because right now this foot guard unit is outnumbered 2-1, and over here, same thing. But these foot guards do not break easily. They are down to 42 guys, still haven't broken, and got another pretty healthy foot guard here pushing up on the left flank. But Russia's forces are getting somewhat depleted. He does have a decent-sized force in the center, but like I said, the Prussian player has a lot of light still. Plasma still has his general, and especially his cavalry, which he hasn't even used on the left flank until, looks like just now. So he's going to be pushing those guys up. Looks like the Russian morale is kind of starting to fade away, just because he's kind of, like I said, getting isolated from the rest of his army. The general really does need to be pushing up for Russia, making sure that morale is high, and, really good, but it looks like that is not the case on the right flank, and Russia is just crumbling. But over here you can see the Russians are kind of pushing up now to the artillery pieces, seeing that they are very devastating, and hopefully he might get some volleys off to eliminate those targets. But over here in the center, Russia is forced to fall back. They're taking too many losses from those volleys from the skirmishers. And then over here on the left flank, Russia is also kind of holding his ground on the left flank, but in the center he's definitely in a full retreat just because he's going up against so many foot guard units. But it looks like the cavalry has charged into those militiamen. Did they kill any guys? No, they couldn't even kill a single artilleryman. So that is devastating. That is catastrophic for Russia. But it looks like Rick does have a couple hidden units in the forest here. Don't know why he hasn't been pushing them up earlier, but here he goes. Looks like he's actually going to try and pinch this one musketeer unit, but musketeer units are really causing, or that one musketeer unit's really causing a lot of damage to those Russian lines. So let's pause it right now and just take a look as to what is going on. So over here you see Russia is extremely isolated in this forest right here. A lot of troops surrounding them, and they're really isolated. Likewise over here you can see artillery, cavalry, musketeers, and a general over there. Taking a look in the center, they're trying to hold, but you just see this massive cav force that's coming, and Russia's going to have to really think of something strategic in order to counter that, maybe go in a building and try to hide himself away. But over here on the far left flank, Plasma's point of view, Russia is definitely not looking good. 2 foot guards up against 1 militia unit. Not good at all, but good job here by Rick, hiding in the forest, making sure he takes as minimal losses as possible, especially when you don't have the range advantage. You always want to try and optimize what you can do. So here we go, taking their sweet time. Not too sure you want to be walking in a crisis like this, but the cavalry has made it onto the hill. They do have a foothold here, and they can pretty much strike anywhere on the battlefield. They are very healthy in terms of stamina. And over here, they actually, once again, another militia unit has broken. And there goes the center, another 2 units. So it's pretty much down to the general and a couple militia units there. The Russians kind of faded away in the forest unless they ran out, which it looks like they did. So now they're up against some Prussian Fusiliers. The very even battle, especially in terms of numbers. So it's going to come down to skill right here. And you see 68 to 73. A very close battle, but I'm sure morale is going to affect one of those units very shortly. Looks like the cavalry going out and killing as many militiamen as possible, and you can just see a mass rout occurring just because the general is nowhere nearby. He's stuck over here. So Russia is not in a good position whatsoever. Right flank, once again, very isolated, has 1 unit up against 2 foot guards. Foot guards seem to be taking their sweet time as they assault the point. You just take a look at the map and see how many routing blue units there are compared to red. But they're taking their time, and I mean, they really don't have too much to fear. But here they come. You see the horrible accuracy of these militiamen as they fire. But maybe some of these more point-blank volleys will get some more kills. But here goes that charge, very devastating. You see the morale starting to fade away down to the red. And look at this, 33 guys up against 66, and the morale's still green. Unbelievable. Just comes to show how important morale can be in you know, a lot of these games. Morale's starting to go up now. Looks like the Prussians are losing it. Oh, nope, switching back down to the Russian advantage. Who's going to win? 38 versus 20. Oh, and they both break. So, running away from the battlefield on both sides. But over here, it's pretty much the only side Russia has left to defend. You see, like I said, they're still very isolated. The 2 sections of the army are split up, one over here on the southern side, then up here at the northern side. But look at this. Looks like 3 militia units ganging up on these Prussian Fusiliers. Now, if I were Rick, I would just be charging in because the accuracy of these militiamen are just horrific. So I think by charging in, he's really going to help his cause, and even though they are very tired, it's still the best for them. Over here, once again, another cavalry unit. You see the artillery still blasting this militia, or these militia units, to pieces. You see their morale's not even that great, but they still haven't lost a single guy. And they, man, Rick really should charge this general into that light, or that artillery piece, because that's another main reason why Russia's losing so many troops, is because artillery is just a killer for morale. Looks like this guy's inside of a horse. That looks so funny. Anyways, let's check these volleys out. Doesn't look like any catastrophic hits, but you just see that morale, bringing that morale down. Cavalry does break. So pretty much the only units left are pretty much on the left side. Morale here is still getting still very bad. But you see, Russia is very much depleting his enemy right now. You see, he's actually winning this engagement right here. But over here, until now, it's looking very close. It looks like these guys are kind of hunched over. I don't know what they're doing. They should probably be in the melee engagement. But the Russia still has a decent sized force, and if you can take out this left flank, it can really help them out. But like I said, that artillery is still just destroying him right now, and Rick really needs to send a unit in to take out that artillery piece. And get this, Russia is victorious in this assault, or in that melee engagement, breaking those Prussian foot guards, so evening the odds once again. But another deadly cav charge into these militiamen, but it looks like they're going to hold firmly. They're actually still shooting in melee, which is pretty interesting. Artillery still blasting them, so they once again hold back another attack. And look at this, artillery still coming in. Don't know how long these militiamen can hold on this hill. They're getting some help with some other volleys on the other side, but look at this. He really needs to charge in. His accuracy is just awful. He needs to charge in there, despite cavalry being there as well. But you can see Russia's starting to fade away on the left flank, and General really needs to get in there and help support. But looks like some Russian units are actually coming back from the engagement. These guys are broken, so they still have a chance to coming back. But like I said, artillery really devastating the morale. And there we go, finally, Russian general melee charging into those howitzers. Looks like we have some friendly fire here. That is not good. That is not good at all. But at least he did take out the artillery piece, or is soon to take it out, I hope. Yep. But they're routing with 10 guys, so they should come back. Meanwhile, over here, Russia's having a struggle trying to hold this hill. So it looks like he's going to be pushing up once again another militia unit to try and flank the enemy. Those musketeers with 72 guys up against 75 and 78. So, I mean, very even numbers, but like I said 100 times again, it comes down to who has better accuracy and morale. Looks like this cavalry is once again pushing up, charging in. They want to get revenge for taking out that artillery piece, so they're going to be charging in. And sadly, Russia cannot form squares, so he's in some trouble. He should probably just turn around right now, because he's going to lose too many guys trying to run away. And here they come. Oh, that guy got stabbed. And they're exhausted too, so that's not going to help them out at all. Russian general caught off guard, but look at this. Managed to kill the Russian general. Great job there. Forming square at the correct time and actually killing off pretty much everyone in that general staff unit. So good job there, and that's going to really influence the morale of those Russians. You see that big force that once was over here has completely shattered, and it is down to these final 3 units down here by this hill. You see Prussia still has a very sizable force consisting of, I believe, 10 units. So I mean, it was a pretty close game. But you see ammunition starting to become a factor now for these Prussians. And there they go, they're charging in. Another unit has routed. Seeing their general staff running away, that doesn't help your cause at all. Look at them run. Running back to Moscow. Could not pull off a victory today. So final 2 units. Here comes once again another massive cavalry charge. This time into the sides of these militiamen. You can see bringing them down to 69 men, and over here 75 men. If I were Russia right now, I'd be rushing. Get it? Rushing into the into the house. We'll stop. Anyways, it is pretty much over. Final unit is left now, and they are on the edge of breaking. See the officer staring bravely at the enemy, but sadly, it was a very, very big loss for the Russians. Look at those beards. They all had those nice beards. Wow. Anyways, good game. You see statistics-wise, almost both of them had over 1,000 kills, but you can see the dominant player, Plasma, with 1,600 compared to Rick with only 1,000. Let's take a look at the unit statistics. Hussars, that does not surprise me whatsoever. Seeing that they cannot form square, cavalry is going to be very superior when it comes to engagements. You see foot guards next, and Prussian Fusiliers. Let's see the artillery. Wow, they did pretty poorly. Well, I say that. It looks like every unit did pretty well. 72 kills, not too bad, but I'm sure that influenced the morale. So anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry for the lack of uploads. School's just been busy. Hopefully you can understand that. But anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys later.